Welcome back, Nerd Squad! Today we take a closer look at one of the greatest villains in the Marvel Universe, Dr. Von Doom. Doom is a complex character, which is what makes him so fun to explore. While he does some of the most dastardly things in comics and has practically been a god twice, he is also one of those villains you can almost get behind. When it's Dr. Doom versus the Fantastic Four, you almost wanna choose his side. A lot of the time he is trying to act for what he believes is the good of humanity. Sure, he's prideful and he has an insane ego, but ultimately he doesn't hurt people to hurt them. He sees it as hurting others for the greater good, usually. The crazy thing is that he actually is a pretty decent leader and sometimes the most powerful person in the room. Definitely the smartest. Meaning he gets called upon for all kinds of heroic tasks. Today, that is what we are going to be taking a look at as we count down the top 10 heroic things Dr. Doom has done. Let's get counting. Number 10. Killed himself. Well, more specifically, killed his future alternate self in 2093 AD in Camelot. This scenario comes to us from Iron Man Volume 1, issue 250. Iron Man and Dr. Doom must team up and travel to the future. Once there, they team up with Merlin. By the way, this Merlin has a beard that appears to have the end of it wrapped in an elastic blue rubber band. Why? I don't know. It's the future. I guess we were just 70 years away from that weird fashion trend. During the course of their adventure, Dr. Doom crosses paths with his future self, who is almost full cyborg at this point. Dr. Doom feels shame at his future self, considering him undignified and desperate, living beyond his prime. As a result of this, he kills his future self. Yikes. But also, I guess thanks? Future self was really evil. Number 9. Save the world. So admittedly, he also sort of took it over and made himself a god, but during the 2015 Secret Wars event, Dr. Doom is the only one strong enough to save the existence of the world. Granted, it's kind of messed up, it's not perfect, but at least it still exists. Comprised of Earth 1610 and Earth 616 as well as bits of other realities, it is a mashed together reality split up into different territories. Dr. Doom rules over it as a god, and Doctor Strange even later confesses that he is actually really good at it. Dr. Doom was the only one strong enough to take in the power of the Beyonders and use it to build this reality. However, in the end, it is still Mr. Fantastic that usurps him and resets the multiverse as we know it. Still, you gotta admit, for a last minute job, Dr. Doom did an outstanding job of saving the universe. At least he held it together. I don't know. Number 8. Saved his mom. In the Marvel graphic novel issue 49, we see Dr. Doom team up with Doctor Strange to save his mother. So many Dr. Doom and Doctor Strange team ups. I love it. His mother was trapped in hell many years ago after a deal she made with Mephisto went unsurprisingly sideways. Yet the only way to save her soul would be to make her pure enough to no longer be able to reside in hell. In the issue, it is made to look like Dr. Doom sacrifices Doctor Strange to secure her safety, but it is later revealed that this was actually most likely a ploy of the brilliant victors. Something he had done simply to make his mother renounce him as a son and hate him, and thereby free her soul by making it as pure as it could be. Don't ask me how that works. Whether or not this is true is not confirmed in the comic, though Dr. Doom was the person who gave Doctor Strange the device which helped him to break free of Mephisto's grasp. So, probably planned. Number 7. Save the survivors of the zombie apocalypse. While Dr. Doom doesn't survive in the Marvel Zombieverse, he certainly helps others to escape it. He is one of the last known survivors, hiding out in his castle Doomstadt in Latveria, where he also houses many non-zombified refugees. Sure, they all happen to be the kind of, attractive ones who are of a breeding age, but still, he's saving people. Unfortunately, the Horde eventually break through to Doomstadt, and Dr. Doom becomes infected. But even while the zombie virus is fighting to take hold of him, he manages to get the survivors out through, well, basically a portal gun, straight out of Rick and Morty. Ash of Evil Dead is also in the castle at the time, and Dr. Doom even resists the urge to devour the wisecracking individual, and also helps him escape. He breaks the teleporter device just as the Horde breaks in, and the thing threatens to clobber him. Pretty selfless stuff, especially when at that point he was almost full zombie. Number 6. Defeats Thanos. During the Secret Wars event of 2015, God Emperor Doom defeats Thanos handily. These few panels that we find in issue 8 of Secret Wars were considered by many to be controversial, but ultimately, God Emperor Doom has the power to single-handedly defeat the Mad Titan. The Mad Titan tries to intimidate Doom and loses. The weird thing isn't that Thanos used this tactic, but that he used this tactic on someone so narcissistic narcissistic and powerful as Doom. Thanos mocks Doom, telling him that when he wielded the powers of a god, the Infinity Gauntlet, he used them better. Doom asks if Thanos now possesses an Infinity Gauntlet, but Thanos concludes he doesn't need one for someone as low and weak as Doom. Ouch. Thanos demands that Doom bow down to him, that Thanos in his ordinary form is enough to defeat Doom and earn his respect. Disagreeing, Dr. Doom kills Thanos. Not with a snap of his fingers, but with one swift, life-disintegrating blow to the chest, turning Thanos into bones. Number 5. Helped deliver Sue Storm's baby. When Sue Storm is ready to give birth to her and Richard's second child, she almost loses the baby. Granted, before she had actually lost it, but that is a story for another time. The baby, which was originally stillborn the first time around, got a hard reset, but Sue is stuck with the same problem that she was last time, namely that her unborn daughter is throwing off waves of radiation that are harmful to Sue and the unborn child itself. Last time, every conceivable brilliant mind was called upon, including even Dr. Octopus, and despite Reed Richards' best efforts, he could not save their child. Now Reed Richards is occupied and unable to be at his wife's side as she goes into labor, and Johnny Storm calls upon the only person that he can think of, Dr. Doom, for some reason. He is brilliant, but I feel like calling upon your arch nemesis is kind of a risky move. Dr. Doom actually agrees to help and manages to use Johnny Storm's external energy. Johnny at this point could not flame off due to his excess energy without the help of technology to save Sue Storm and her baby. This actually also fixes Johnny's problem as well, so now he's able to flame on, flame off again. When Reed Richards made it back to his wife, she was already successfully delivered. Dr. Doom's price was that he would simply get to name the child. He named her VALERIA and bestowed her with the full protection of LATVERIA and his own powers should she ever need it. It's kinda cute. He then leaves, gloating that he did what Richards could not, but still seeming to be a pretty great godfather, all things considered. Like, I want Dr. Doom to be my godfather, jeez. Number 4. LATVERIA. Speaking of LATVERIA, it is the nation that Doom rules. Within his nation, he is like a king, but although his rules are somewhat strict and he rules with a literal iron fist, he is actually a pretty decent leader. Sure, he demands your undying devotion to him, and sure, you may not have all the freedoms you would have in another country, but the people of LATVERIA do seem to truly love Dr. Doom. Even Doctor Strange seems to believe that this is true, and that the show of love that his citizens give him is sincere. Under his rule, LATVERIA prospers. They have a good economy, healthy citizens, no one seems to go hungry or suffer from undue ailments, it is a relatively peaceful and calm place to live. Sure, he sometimes uses mind control on his citizens, but hey, mind control for a peaceful existence? Seems like a not so awful trade-off. Number 3. Prevents a war. Dr. Von Doom joins up with Winter Soldier and Black Widow in the Winter Soldier 2012 series. What's more amazing is he does so after Bucky breaks into his castle. Doom almost kills him, thinking he's some kind of vile spy, as well as Cap's sidekick who he thought had already died. But before he can amend Bucky's existence, Bucky confesses that they're only there to help Dr. Doom. They share that Dr. Doom is actually being framed, and that one of his Doom bots, programmed to look and behave just like Doom, is being manipulated into attacking the United Nations. Manipulated. This attack would result in a war. Potentially even a world war, who knows? To avoid such events coming to pass, Dr. Doom agrees to help them, and with Bucky and Black Widow they work together to defeat the villainous plot and save the world. Number 2. Made a more peaceful world. In the Marvel graphic novel series from the 80s, in issue 27, we see Dr. Doom becoming Emperor Doom when he conquers the world. He does this by harnessing Purple Man's mind control abilities and magnifying them with the use of a giant psycho prism. When he takes control of the world, he actually proves himself to be a relatively astounding leader, apart from the mind control, that is. He uses his powers for good, not evil. Sure, he makes himself leader of the world, but he also ends war, works towards eliminating world hunger, and improves the economy. He basically turns the world into a paradise. Unfortunately, this is short-lived, as although Dr. Doom enjoys being Emperor, he soon finds that mind control makes everything kinda safe and boring. You know, too easy. There's no gratification in it, no struggle, which makes it kind of strange that he would later use mind control on his own nation in LATVERIA. So he doesn't like mind control, but he also kinda likes mind control. Number 1. Infamous Iron Man. No, I'm not talking about Tony Stark's Iron Man here, I'm talking about Dr. Doom as Iron Man. He became infamous Iron Man in his own 12-issue series in 2016 when he adopted Iron Man's mantle, and decided to pursue a life of heroics, operating under the name Infamous Iron Man. That's right. Dr. Doom did for a time want to be a hero and aspired to it. The best thing about him as a hero is he still has the flaws we know and love. He is still prideful to a fault, making him appear rather flippant. But he's also very powerful and shows remorse even in the villainous deeds he has formerly perpetrated. He even manages to defeat a ton of villains as they plot to kill him, saying that he was worse enough as an ally, but as a hero, he would be unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed this list. Do you think Dr. Doom would make a good hero? Do you want to see him join the MCU? Do you think he needs the Fantastic Four to do so? Or could perhaps stand alone as his own character slash villain? Let me know in the comments below. He is personally one of my all-time favorite villains because he is so complex and frequently helps others just to prove that he can and to prove that he is smarter. I also just love that even while being a villain, he can easily perform noble actions and it is still considered in character for him. So complex. While you're on your way down to the comments to share your thoughts and feels, be sure to tap that like if you love Dr. Doom as much as I do. And remember to smash that sub and ring our bell. We love it when you do. This has been Top 10 Nerd and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you, as always, to stay nerdy, YouTube.